When I see a blank wall, I just want to find a way to put some color on it, to give it a voice. And I always see walls as a huge blank canvas for someone to paint on. And then I see maybe the logistics about how to maybe get that wall painted. Like, what kind of list would we need? What kind of paint would we need? Who would be ideal for it? What is the axis? How's the lighting? When I see a blank wall, I see an opportunity.
POW is basically a week-long arts festival, but in many ways it's different than any other festival in the world. It's not just these finished murals that are important, but also the act of creating them and the act of getting all these artists together. The POW artists come from all over the world. We have artists from Austria, England, all over the United States, China, Taiwan, Japan. We've slowly been able to build this global community and this global family.
Today is the beginning of POW. Before the artists go out and paint, we get together, we take them on these excursions or these holo-holos to the Pali Lookout and to the Iolani Palace. These folks that are coming here are from all over the world. They have an idea of what Hawaii is about, but for POW, we want to give them the full experience coming from a cultural perspective. And seeing how they absorb all of these stories, and I can see like some of them really, their thought process is starting to change already, and they haven't even started painting yet, but to see them start to think a little bit deeper from a cultural perspective as what can I do differently than from what I normally do. But when I talk about culture, I can only talk about the culture that I represent, that I know of, in hopes that it'll inspire them to be curious enough to figure out their lineage and their culture and their place. And hopefully what manifests from that are thoughts and ideas that came before you.
I think the one thing that sets us apart from other festivals is the collaborative aspect of it. We really push to have the artists work together. I think most of us as artists, we're used to being alone and in our sanctuaries painting. But then there's a beauty to sort of being together in a big group. Everyone brings their individual creative energies together, and there's no way that something amazing isn't going to happen. It's amazing what's going on right now because it's a 24/7 open studio, and it's completely open to the public. No one's painting behind closed doors.
POW is many different things now, but it basically started from a small art project that dealt with, emphasized collaboration, cultural exchange, and opening up the process of creating art to people. Hawaiian Airlines is a big supporter of POW and have a lot of meetings with a lot of the Hawaiian Airlines people, and we're always kind of brainstorming ideas. So I mentioned that I wanted to paint a plane. They said, well, it's kind of big, how about some of the ground service vehicles? So I said, great, let's start there. Within the last month, we got the okay, we put together the team, who was gonna paint, what we were gonna paint. Ola and the fitted people brought their amazing designs to the project. Jeff Gress brought his, amazing hand styles, same with Deffer. So I tried to pick all these people that were, very, very talented, that all our styles would mesh, but also, people that were good with their hands, because there was a lot of other work that was necessary, taping and spraying paint and knowing materials. These are all things that, outside of the creative process, are necessary for projects like this. Hawaiian Airlines is starting a new safety initiative, and they want to make sure that all the vehicles are safe and, you know, promote safety. So we initially came up with the design not knowing about the safety initiative, and then they said, okay, well, look, we need bright colors, we need you know, designs that are gonna show up. What are you guys planning on doing? And when we mentioned over the phone camouflage, they were kind of shocked. But I told them, look, this is not the camouflage patterns that you're thinking of. This pattern is a really well-known pattern that Ola developed that's called the island camo. It's made up of all the Hawaiian Islands, and Ola thought it would be really fitting because it incorporates all the Hawaiian Islands into one pattern.
It started off just as an excuse to try to get all my friends together to paint and hang out. It's become much more than that over the years. Now it's over 100 artists painting almost 70 murals over a period of a week. It's people having fun and painting. You know, it's us doing projects all over the world. It's sort of become like a larger collective, almost like a movement to a degree. It's become, at the same time, family. So a lot of the artists that are a part of POW are people that I've admired for years, ever since I was in college or younger. So those are the people that I try to bring on board are just people that I've always admired and then call them friends now. In the beginning, the response, people were always sort of afraid of it. And I think it really comes from the broken window theory, where they thought that if we painted or did public art or murals in the area, that we would bring crime to the area. And that's proven to be completely wrong. It's actually brought a lot of people to the area. It's made the area safer, more colorful, more fun. You see people all over the streets taking photos, exploring and trying to find all the murals. And so it's brought a lot of life from people into the neighborhood. People are definitely more open to it, and they kind of see Kaka'ako as this sort of beautiful area with a ton of art everywhere, you know, and that's amazing because it used to be a forgotten district. It's become like a happening area now, and it's amazing to know that we contributed to that happening to help to revitalize the neighborhood. Basically now I think with POW is that we're trying to make sure that all the individual elements are stronger, you know, not to like grow it in scale too much, but to make sure that every part of it is solid. We don't just paint on walls, we also do a ton of other disciplines, and we are trying to broaden our horizons. And we also work with the museum pretty heavily this year. The lineup itself has been great because so many amazing artists, like from like old school like legends to like up and coming artists, to everyone's been amazing, and everyone's like really sort of put in a lot of time and dedication into making the best that they could do while they're here. There was actually 3 things that I wanted to do with POW. One, I wanted to bring people together through art, building a network of artists that spanned the globe and building all these bridges that went all over the place through art. And 2, I wanted to educate people about art. I wanted people to see what was going on around the world here, and I wanted people outside of Hawaii to see what people in Hawaii were doing.